Okay. Good evening. I'm going to reconvene now for our regular board meeting. I want to welcome everyone to the meeting of the Santa Fe ISD Board of Trustees. It's important that this meeting be conducted in an organized and efficient manner, and to that end would like to outline some ground rules for all of us to follow during the course of the evening. First and foremost, recognize this is the board's meeting. By law, most of the discussion and all of the voting must be done in open session. But public participation by necessity is limited to that part of the agenda that's reserved for public input. Occasionally, the board may seek comment or clarification from an administrator in attendance or even from someone in the audience. It's the board's prerogative to seek that information from non-board members as it chooses. However, unsolicited participation from the audience is inappropriate. At times, it may seem we're voting on issues of importance with little or no discussion. Just be advised that all board members get a packet of background information about the various subjects on tonight's agenda several days in advance before we come here to participate in the meeting. After receiving the packets, all board members have and often exercise the opportunity to contact the various school administrators or people to ask questions in an effort to better understand the issues that we're about to or expected to vote on. We thank you for being interested in your school district as witnessed by your presence here tonight. Encourage your active participation in the educational process of your children. We appreciate your cooperation in helping us conduct the business of Santa Fe ISD in an organized and civilized manner, and I hope you enjoy the evening. Okay, Mr. Davenport, would you lead us in an invocation and the pledges, please?
Yes, sir. Please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we just come to you tonight and just say thank you for everything that you do for Santa Fe ISD. Heavenly Father, thank you for all the wonderful teachers and wonderful administrators, and especially all the wonderful students that we have that have blessed our community over the years and into the future. Heavenly Father, just give us the strength to conduct a good, strong meeting that's going to move our district forward, and ask that you protect each and every one of us as we head our ways homes tonight. For it is your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. Pledges.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Okay, do we have any action from our closed session?
No, sir, Mr. President, we do not.
All righty, we will move right on into our recognitions. Ms. Davenport, do you have some recognitions for us tonight?
I do. We have quite a few recognitions, so it's exciting.
Good.
This month, the district will recognize the outstanding achievements of our students and staff in fulfilling our mission and preparing our students to achieve and succeed. The first group we're going to recognize tonight is Santa Fe Junior High would like to recognize one of their robotics teams. Robotics Team 9875B, Technical Knockout, with team members Edgar Hernandez, Ethan Oliver, Youth Kim, Colton Payne, and Allison Torres, along with their robot, Marquis de Lafayette. Did I say that correct? Have all qualified for the state championship, which will be held on April 10th. These students have demonstrated phenomenal success in spite of the unique circumstances surrounding this school year. At their last tournament, they ranked second in the Teamwork Challenge. They are ranked 4th in our region, 13th in the state, and 243rd in the world out of 1,253 teams for skills, which consists of driving skills and programming skills. Due to COVID, our teams started in September, but are rapidly closing the gap with 3 home-based teams that started in May. Colton, Ethan, Edgar, Youth, and Allison are innovative, dedicated, motivated, and determined, staying after practice and working tirelessly every single day. Colton and Youth are the programmers. Ethan, Edgar, and Colton are the engineers. Youth is drafting the engineering notebook. Allison, who is only able to be on the team part-time due to her schedule, has researched robot designs and is a backup driver. Ethan, Colton, and Edgar also volunteer with the high school program that just started this year. All 5 of these team members are already looking forward to being on the high school robotics team next year and have decided they will be the team to beat in our region. Kayla Platt is the robotics coach. And before we congratulate them, we have a short video for you to see kind of what they've been working on. So please join me in congratulating robotics team 9875B, technical knockout. All right, next we have Santa Fe High School would like to recognize the girls basketball all-district selections. The coaches from District 225A met and selected the 2020-2021 all-district team. Santa Fe was represented by the following athletes. Freshman Alicia Flores, second team all-district. Junior Emma Serta, honorable mention in academic all-district. Junior Chloe Vanier, honorable mention. Sophomore Casey Blackwell, honorable mention. Sophomore Cameron Cruz, academic all-district. And sophomore Kiana Chastain, academic all-district. The girls' basketball coach is Carl Mateka. You guys want to come stand up and face them?
Half court.
Y'all come stand up here. Right here. But face those guys. Okay. Please join me in congratulating these ladies.
It's all about y'all. You guys do whatever you will.
Yeah.
Santa Fe High School would also like to recognize the powerlifting teams. The Lady Indians powerlifting team competed March 3rd at the 2021 THSWPA Regional Powerlifting Meet in Alvin. All of our lady lifters did fantastic and represented our school and our community with class. Sophomore Riley Slaughter was a regional qualifier. Freshman Taylor Frampton, personal best squat, 100 pounds. Freshman Kylie Davidson, personal best squat, 160 pounds, and personal best deadlift, 160 pounds. Freshman Kendall Andrus, personal best squat, 185 pounds, and personal best deadlift, 205 pounds. Senior Gracie Cervantes, second place finish, 2021 THSWPA state qualifier, squat 225 pounds, bench 125 pounds, and deadlift 225 pounds. Sophomore McKenna McGuire, personal best squat, 280 pounds, and personal best deadlift, 275 pounds. Junior Carissa Betancourt, third place finish, 2021 THSWPA state qualifier, squat 315 pounds, bench 155 pounds, and deadlift 280 pounds. The THSWPA state meet was held in Corpus Christi on March 20th, and Gracie Cervantes and Carissa Betancourt represented Santa Fe High School. Carissa took third place in her weight class, squatting 330 pounds, bench pressing 155 pounds, and setting a new personal best deadlift with 290 pounds. Gracie was awarded the THSWPA Region 4 Powerlifting Scholarship. These scholarships are awarded to athletes with outstanding character, superior academics, and undeniable work ethic. Gracie is one of 6 girls in the state to receive this honor. These 2 young ladies were rewarded for their hard work and dedication. Congratulations to Gracie and Carissa, and congratulations to all of our lady powerlifters.
How much do you bench?
Not enough. Not enough. Congratulations.
Very impressive.
We would also like to congratulate the Santa Fe boys powerlifting team on taking third place overall at the 2021 THSPA regional meet in Dickinson on March 6th. Guys, y'all want to just kind of line up in front of me? Yeah. The Indians had 5 boys qualify for the regional meet and competed against some of the biggest 5A and 6A schools in the area. Freshman Mason Myers, 6th place finish, personal best squat, 270 pounds, personal best bench, 125 pounds, and personal best deadlift, 275 pounds. Senior Jacob Cavness, 2021 THSPA 123 regional champion, squat 425 pounds, bench 230 pounds, and deadlift 345 pounds. Junior Canton Kemp, 6th place finish, personal best squat 560 pounds, and personal best deadlift 525 pounds. Senior Trent Mike, 3rd place finish, personal best squat 630 pounds, and personal best bench 360 pounds. Senior Tristan Neighbors, 2021 THSPA 308 regional champion, personal best squat 635 pounds, personal best bench 370 pounds, and personal best deadlift 510 pounds. Jacob Cavness and Tristan Neighbors competed in the Texas High School Powerlifting Association state meet in Abilene this past weekend. Both young men have worked extremely hard to manage their weight while building muscle mass that allows them to be competitive in their respective weight classes. In late August, Jacob suffered a dislocated elbow that caused him to miss part of football season and jeopardized his lifting career. He recovered and finished in 6th place overall in the state and was awarded the THSPA Region 4 scholarship. This scholarship is awarded to lifters with extraordinary academics, undeniable work ethic, and a leader amongst their peers. Jacob plans on using this scholarship to help him continue his lifting career at Sam Houston State University. During football season, Tristan developed an illness that caused him to lose close to 40 pounds. He was unable to work out and was unsure if he would be able to continue his powerlifting career. Midway through the powerlifting season, Tristan was cleared to participate and immediately began to work to regain his strength. Not only did he return to strength, he also set new personal best in all 3 lifts, including a regional record squat of 635 pounds and a personal best bench press with 380 pounds. Tristan finished in 8th place overall in the state. Congratulations again to these 2 young men for overcoming obstacles and for representing our community with class and dignity. CJ Cavness is the powerlifting coach. We want to congratulate all of our powerlifters.
I'm sure between the 3 of us, we could probably do half of that. All added together.
Okay, the district would like to recognize our student and staff spotlights for the month of March. From Hvac, fifth grader Carly McKenzie is our elementary spotlight student. Carly has overcome many challenges this year, both personally and academically. She continues to overcome every obstacle in her way to succeed in her academics and in life. She has had many hurdles this year, but continues to impress everyone with her resiliency. We are so proud of her strength and character. From Santa Fe Junior High, eighth grader Colton Payne is our secondary spotlight student. Colton's dedication, diligent work ethic, and quick wit has guided and carried him through a successful junior high career. Colton has been on the A honor roll every semester during junior high. After school, he assists with helping people in the community by caring for their animals. He has successfully competed in UIL academic and theatrical competitions, earning numerous medals. He has also earned several honors at Texas History Day competitions, including being the first Santa Fe ISD student to ever advance to National History Day competition. And our staff spotlight is also from Santa Fe Junior High, robotics teacher Kayla Platt. The robotics program represents the best integration of science, technology, engineering, and math skills. From long hours of after-school practices to tireless fundraising, Mrs. Platt works daily to provide our Santa Fe Junior High robotics students with opportunities to shine. She organized and facilitated our first Hvac IQ robotics tournament in Santa Fe ISD in January and had 16 teams from area schools participate. 3 out of 4 Santa Fe Junior High teams made it to the finals. We also placed 2nd, 3rd, and 5th in the teamwork challenge. Most recently, we found out that one of our teams will be moving on to the state robotics competition. And I believe just today, we found out that 6 of our teams are moving on to the state robotics tournament. So that's news. So congratulate our 2 staff, student spotlights and our staff spotlight for the month of March. Okay, at this time, Mark McKinney and Tom Linklater would like to recognize the Pcat Bus Driver of the Year.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak this evening. The Property Casualty Alliance of Texas is a, or Pcat, is a member-owned and governed and nonprofit school risk program providing property and casualty insurance for over 175 school districts here in the state of Texas. Over 80% of all governmental entities use risk pools like Pcat for their insurance because they work. And the reason they work is they're typically member-owned, which means instead of being a profit center, money goes back into the programs to help reduce costs for all. And one of those programs that Santa Fe ISD is involved in, and the reason we're here tonight, is the Pcat Bus Driver of the Year Award. It's about recognition. Our bus drivers are the first ones to see our kids in the morning. They're the last ones to see them in the evening. Their ratio of student to supervision is the highest during the day. They do a lot and they deserve a lot. And the Pcat Bus Driver of the Year Award encourages schools to look for drivers on an annual basis that have made a difference through their efforts and their dedication, and a difference in the community, a difference in the district, and a difference in the lives of our students. So in order to present the award, I turn this over to Mark.
So our Pcat Bus Driver of the Year is Kendra Mattis. Kendra has been with us just a little over 5 years. In 5 years, she's gone from trainee to driver to lead driver to trainer, and said perfect attendance multiple times. And there's nothing we can't count on Kendra to do. And I think the only next step for her is try to take my job, but she's doing a great job. She's just advancing at a rapid pace.
Okay, so this next recognition is a little awkward because I'm the Public Relations Department, so we're about to recognize ourselves here, but we would like to recognize the department because what we do, the awards that we won that I'm about to talk to you about are in collaboration with the district. So we work with our campuses and our other departments on all of our communication resources. And then Patty and I are a member of the Texas Public Relations Association, and we submit those for awards. So they're a collaboration district-wide. So anyway, the Public Relations Department, we would like to congratulate our Public Relations team for winning 27 star awards, including 3 best of category at the Texas School Public Relations Association, which is TSPRA, annual conference. During the Star Awards banquet on February 24th, Patty Hansard and I were awarded 15 gold, 9 silver, and 3 bronze awards for creativity, skill, and talent in the following categories: printed newsletter, printed external newsletter, electronic newsletter, video marketing, brochure, flyer, poster, picture, calendar, invitation, communication plan, website and website app, and booklet. We were also awarded Best of Category for our Santa Fe ISD Strategic Communication Plan, the RJ Woolham True Colors video documentary, and the website template-driven design for the Santa Fe ISD website. Our website is hosted by Blackboard, and due to our Best of Category award, Blackboard will be featuring our district website in a roundtable discussion that they are hosting for other school districts on April 15th. They will showcase how we designed our website, and members of the Technology and Public Relations Department will participate in a question and answer session. Did you want to say anything? Okay.
I just want to take this opportunity to thank our department, but like Jenny said, it's all of us in collaboration with CNI, with all the other departments, the campuses. If you look, I know that Jenny placed a flyer there that shows you what we won or what the things we won, and like the ESL flyer, that's out of CNI. So it's a collaborative effort, but 3 of our public relations, because we do HR and PR, but 3 of our employees here who we could not have done this without is Jody Montemar. Jody does all of our videoing and our pictures. And then we have Angela Kennedy, who did all of our printing so that we could submit those entries. And then Gina Welsh is with the foundation, but she also works with us in public relations. And we were able to also submit some entries under the foundation as well. So it's definitely a collaborative effort. And I just want to thank them so much for all that they do.
One more thing we'd like to recognize is Patty Hansard for being chosen to write an article for Communication Matters, which is a TSPRA magazine. So that was kind of, but I didn't really tell her I added that in here from the awards, but she was featured in the winter edition of Communication Matters. So the TSPRA group reached out to her and asked her to write an article for their magazine. So I have placed a copy of that article at each of your places as well. And I know it was truly an honor for Patty to be asked. And she represented Santa Fe ISD very well. So congratulations to Patty. We are gonna
Physical medal for each one of these awards.
just,
We did a medal for best of category, and we did.
I just wanted you to wear them all like Mardi Gras. I mean, this is what, how many did you say? I mean, there's a lot of medals.
I might need help sharing the screen. I know, I do it every month. I know. But I'm clicking, I thought oh, here.
It's a collaborative
There
thing.
we go. Yes, we collaborate.
There you go.
Thank y'all.
Hey, but you notice how fast we get tech support on the job. I mean, those guys are like right there on top of it.
Okay, so for our last recognition is our Employees of the Month. We appreciate all our Santa Fe ISD employees who work to provide our students every opportunity to achieve and succeed in education. Please join me this evening in celebrating, thanking, and congratulating the following SFISD staff as they are honored as Employees of the Month for March. From William F. Barnett, we have Jada Mix. From Dan J. Kubicek Elementary, we have Becky Sullivan. From RJ Woolham Elementary, we have Hannah Nelson. From Santa Fe Junior High, we have Kristen Bullington. From Santa Fe High School, Danielle Biggs. From the Transportation Department, Delicia Gonzalez. From Maintenance and Operations, we have Sam Herrera. From our Custodial Department, we have Rebecca Self. From Nutrition Services, we have Tricia Hayman. And from our administration building, we have Joel Sumrall, who's here with us tonight. So congratulations and thank you for our service.
Back in your box.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Now's the time in our agenda for our public comment on agenda items. The Board of Trustees will hear public comment on agenda items at all open meetings in accordance with Texas Government Code Section 551.007. Public comment on non-agenda items will be heard at the regularly scheduled board meetings in April, August, and December per our policy. And we have no one signed up tonight, so I'll give that. Yes.
136. 136, page 136.
Okay. Excuse me? No, sir. No, so there is a policy in which we have, it's out there, it's well known that there's a time frame to sign up and no one signed up within the time frame. So. Okay, we will now move on to our information items. Dr. Wall, you have some reports and things for us?
Yes, sir. We do have monthly reports for your review and your packets this evening in our various departments. And I believe Mr. Atkins can give us an update on our high school addition project that is nearing completion.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing this evening? So the high school project is getting really close. We're going to do commissioning next week and begin walking punch lists next week. The ceilings are all done. The flooring was just about finished on the first floor. The doors and windows are all installed. They're doing their final cleans and doing all that. So it's starting to look a lot like a new addition. The over spring break, they did quite a bit of work doing away with some egress doors that were put in back 2-3 years ago. They took down the overhead door that sectioned it off from the main school. So now you can, looks like a hallway. They replaced the flooring there and it's coming along really well. So it's in good shape. End of next week should be substantially complete. And we'll work with the campus on a move-in date for everything with that going. For that, we have an open house or a ribbon cutting April 19th. And so we'll have that that day and invite folks to come out and take a look at it. Any questions?
Any questions for Bob?
No, sir.
No,
Thanks,
thank you, sir. Next, we have an Mno Department update.
Bob, that'd be you.
Chris is going to do it.
Delegate.
Thanks, Bob. Okay. It's not sharing technology. I mean, employee of the month. No, so I know that everybody understands what maintenance and operation does. It's not a hidden secret what we do. You know, we fix, we clean. But I wanted to take a minute to take a little bit more of a deeper dive into what our department does to make sure that we accomplish our goals every year. The maintenance operation, we currently sit at 67 people. Our staff is 67. We have 47 custodians, 16 maintainers, and then 4 admin staff. The number one goal, our goal number one, improving communication across the district. These are some of the things that we do every single day, every single month, in order to make sure that we're doing that. Monthly meetings with our principals and directors. We sit down with them monthly, daily, weekly, you know, depending on what's going on inside of the buildings at that time. Daily operations covers everything from routine cleaning to our in-depth COVID cleaning that we went to, and then any maintenance or daily projects that we have. Maintenance and facility usage requests. Year to date, we have completed 3,529 work orders. And that is with a staff of 16 maintainers, like I said. So they definitely have a lot on their plate and a lot that they take care of every single day. On top of that, we also covered over 1,055 events this year. And that was with COVID and with everything being shut down. So if you take apart those months that we were closed and then still move forward, there was a lot of stuff that the department covered. You're up to date on the utility usage on the reporting that we do every single month. School due, there's a lot of stuff. You see the Gantt chart. That's every single update that we have on a project. It's covered in there, the percentage and how we move forward. And then constant updates to the website. You know, we utilize Jody with that a lot. She makes all the changes that we need to the website, facility usage, updates from TEA and UIL that I work with Matt with, to anything that comes along as far as how many people we can fit in the stands, how many people we allow in the buildings, everything like that. Another goal is maximizing our energy efficiency. We do that. The top right picture you see is a snapshot of software that we will be using. It's called Building Advisor. It's from Schneider Electric. And what this does is once it's fully operational, it will start to look at every single thing that we have that's mechanical and electrical and start analyzing its tasks. And what it does at that point, it starts learning its trends, it starts building the BAS system smarter, and it uses our efficiency, our energy efficiency, to reduce wherever we can. Cool the building smarter, start the buildings at a easier time, so that way it reduces our costs. We also work with another BAS provider, which is Unify. That's who we have in Barnett. They're very simple. We chose them based on everything they could do for us, but also how easy it is to manipulate that system to get the lights on, to cool better, and the efficiency we get out of it. Long range savings for utility contracts. That is one thing that we've been working recently with TASB. Direct Energy is our provider right now, but we have been working with multiple agencies in order to find out what the best path is for energy, because it is such a fluctuating market right now. One day we're at 4 cents a kilowatt hour, and the next day it can be 5.5 cents a kilowatt hour. And when you're using almost 12 million kilowatt hours a year, that 1 penny makes up a big difference over the whole year. Emergency operation planning. This is something that we do a lot with the amount of storms that we were going to get, that we thought we were going to get, but luckily we kind of missed them all. We have a review prior to every single storm that comes in. We talk to every department. We meet with technology. We meet with each campus. We say, hey, what do you need from us? How do we need to do it? And let's make sure we're ready for any storms. Post-storm, we do an after-action review where we talk about what worked for us, what didn't work for us, and then things that were unplanned that we thought that we recovered, and then turns out, you know, as much as nature throws us curveballs, we try to deal with them as much as we can. And then goal 5 is our capital improvement and our replacement. As you all know from everything that we sat through earlier in the workshop, there's a long list of capital items that is a constant reoccurring item that has to be, you know, the roofs, 20 years on a roof, 10 to 15 years on a chiller, vehicles, mowers, things that just constantly have to be replaced. And because there's so much wear and tear on them, we have to move through them. And then along with that, you'll see, you know, facilities are part of that. The new construction, the football field that we're about to see where that avenue takes us. And that's about all I have. If I have any questions.
Chris? Thanks, sir. Mr. McKinney, you going to do the transportation department? Sir.
So safety. and bring radio. So safety is behind everything we do, every decision, hiring decision, every training, every in-service. All of our meetings are pretty much safety meetings, and goes to staffing and routing decisions, preventative maintenance. It all goes through the filter and to see what effect it's going to have on student safety. We transport approximately, we have 3,000 plus registered riders. Some ride every day, some ride just mornings, some ride in the afternoons, some ride once a week, some once every couple of weeks, depending on their practice schedule or, their parental situation. So it's varied about when they ride and how often they ride. Trainees receive at least 250 hours of training before they ever drive a busload of students on their own. We hire for attitude and train for skill. Interior cameras lend support to driver-student management training by giving us a firsthand account of events that happened on the bus. We like to call it the cure for amnesia. Technology pieces give us accountability for driver behavior and rider transportation details. It allows parents to track their students' transportation details, know when and where they got on or off the bus. Interior cameras, they give us student management training. We look at those videos, we go over them with the drivers. Pardon me, details from the pre-trip inspections are searchable and archived electronically, so we can always go back and look and see what kind of inspections were done, how long it took, and if there were problems with the bus that were reported and not addressed. Routing details are archived and available to be researched as well in case we need to go back and research a problem with a different route or stop. Reductions in the bus stop arm violations are documented as we have an overall decline in incidents of vehicles illegally passing school buses. You can see we've gone down from an average of 16 per month for each bus to 11 per month for each bus. So that's a pretty significant reduction and increase in student safety. The newer buses are equipped with cameras that allow drivers to see students and obstacles that were previously obscured by blind spots. The image in the bottom right-hand corner is an actual picture of the screen that the drivers have on their dash that they can see around their bus. And just for reference, in a rear view or the side view mirrors, the blind spot on a bus can be 150 feet long, directly behind the bus. And with this, you can see someone standing next to your bumper. It also aids our drivers. We use the cameras when they're equipped, and we also equip buses with supplemental backing lights to aid us in turnarounds. Our bus technicians are experts in their field and participate in ongoing training, as well as collaborating with manufacturers and knowledgeable colleagues from other districts. More often than not, it is other districts calling our guys for advice. And last is talking about our student safety through fleet modernization. The VW grant, which we've referenced many times, is allowing us to reduce the age of buses. In 2017, 2018, our average age of bus was 12.2 years. Right now, we're at 7.2, and upon completion of the grant, we'll be at 5.6. Industry best practices recommend a bus age of 13 to 15 years at most. So we were pretty close to the top of that on our average. And so I think we're doing really well with that. And a newer bus is a safer bus, has more safety features. It's been crash tested, has 3-point seat belts, surround view cameras, even fire suppression systems. So I actually talked to the representative from IC and told him I felt like we were putting the safest buses in the state of Texas on the road. And he said with the fire suppression systems and the surround view that he felt like they were the safest buses in the country. And so that's a source of pride for not only our department, but for our district.
Do all buses have the fire suppression or just one?
Just the newer ones.
Yeah, just a new one.
Just the newer ones. They're low emissions diesel. And this video is 8 times normal speed. This is what it looks like every day from my
Hope so.
desk when we go out.
You said they drove.
We don't really drive that fast.
You showed that after the insurance man left.
Any questions?
Any questions from Mr. McKinney? Thank you for the updates. Okay, we will move into our consent agenda now. Dr. Wall?
Yes, sir. We have a few items for your consideration and approval on our consent agenda this evening, including our minutes and accounts payable and budget amendments from prior meetings, as well as including authorized representative for First Public Investment Pool and additional vendors to our promotional items and related services.
President, I'll make a motion we approve as presented.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda as it was presented. Any questions or comments? Not, cast your votes, please. And it has passed unanimously. All right.
Thank you.
We'll now move into our regular agenda. And Ms. Ryan, I think you have the school waivers due to the ice storm.
Yes, good evening. The missed school days waiver pursuant to Texas Education Code 25.081 allows a district to request a waiver if instructional days are missed due to weather, health, safety, or other issues. The district was closed due to ice as well as a lack of water and electricity on February 16th through 19th, 2021. Makeup days will not be required and we will not need to use bad weather days. Board approval is required prior to submitting this waiver to TEA. So we request that you consider and approve the missed school days waiver due to the winter ice storm on February 16th through 19th.
Mr. President, I make a motion we consider and approve the missed school days waiver due to the winter ice storm on February 16th through the 19th of 2021.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the missed school days waiver. Any other questions or comments? Cast your votes, please. And it has passed unanimously. Okay, the next one we have the hybrid instruction waiver.
Yes, for students in 6th through 8th grade, districts may require students who are not scheduled to take a state assessment to learn remotely on STAR testing days in order to reduce the number of individuals on a campus at any one time and increase the number of remote students that come on campus to take the state assessment. Students who are not scheduled to take a STAR test on the days listed below will work from home and attend their classes virtually. This will allow more staff to be available to proctor the exams and fewer students will be in each testing room. Students in 6th through 8th grade will take their STAR test on the dates listed below. Board approval is required prior to submission of this waiver, and we've listed all of the STAR testing dates. So we request that you consider and approve the hybrid instruction waiver during STAR testing for 6th through 8th grade students.
Make a motion, we approve the hybrid. Somebody say something? You gonna make a motion or you want to say something?
I just want, do we have some, I'm sure we do, but we have some kind of plan in place for those that can't stay home for some reason or another, maybe?
If they cannot participate virtually, we'll have a plan in place, yes,
if
but they
there's-
can participate up until 11:59 PM.
Well, I'm just saying if there's, because we're basically telling these kids that, and parents that their kids aren't going to be coming to school these days. And there may be some parents that aren't comfortable leaving their 6th grader at home alone.
Right.
I
We're
just wanna make
communicating
sure for
early.
Those that do not feel comfortable with that, we have some kind of plan to give them an option.
Yeah, they will have another option. We won't force them to miss school. But we've already started communicating it in anticipation of it being approved, and it will deal with any situations that prevent a student from attending.
Was there already a motion?
He was in the process. Would you repeat what you had said?
Yeah. Make a motion to approve the hybrid instruction waiver during STAR testing for 6th through 8th grade students.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the hybrid instruction waiver. Any questions or comments? Cast your votes, please. And it is passed
Okay,
unanimously.
thank you.
Okay, Ms. Davenport, you have some proclamations and
Yes,
things for us. First one is Administrative Professionals Day.
Yes, sir. Administrative Professionals Day, also known as Secretary's Day, was created in 1952 to recognize the significance of the profession and acknowledge the importance and value of the position to America's companies, businesses, and institutions, both large and small, including public schools. Administrative Professionals Day is being observed nationwide on April 21st, 2021.
Mr. President, I move that the board proclaim April 21st, 2021 as Administrative Professionals Day in Santa Fe ISD.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and second that we proclaim the 21st Administrative Professionals Day. Any questions? Not cast your votes, please. Has passed unanimously. Okay, the next, I think you have the National Library Week.
Yes, sir. National Library Week is April 4th through the 10th, 2021. The theme is Welcome to Your Library. Libraries have long served as trusted and treasured institutions, and library workers and librarians fuel efforts to better their communities, campuses, and schools. We encourage all staff, students, and residents to visit the library this week and explore what's new in your library and engage with your librarian.
Mr. President, I move that the board proclaim the week of April 4th through 10th, 2021 as National Library Week in Santa Fe ISD.
Okay, so we moved and seconded that we proclaim the National Library Week. Any questions? Cast your votes, please. And it has passed unanimously. All right, next we have the School Volunteer Week.
Public School Volunteer Week is April 19th through the 23rd, 2021. This year's theme is Volunteers, Very Incredible People. The theme for Public School Volunteer Week provides an opportunity for schools and families to honor and highlight the powerful contribution parents and caregivers provide at school and home to support student success. This week is set aside to urge our fellow citizens to volunteer in our district and community. By volunteering and recognizing those who serve, we can together make a difference.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we move that the board proclaim the week of April 19th through 23rd, 2021 as Public School Volunteer Week in Santa Fe ISD.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the Public School Volunteer Week. Any questions? Cast your votes, please. And it has passed unanimously. Okay, now we have the Occupational Therapy Month.
The American Occupational Therapy Association has declared the month of April 2021 as Occupational Therapy Month. This year's theme is Celebrate OT Month, Occupational Therapy, Passion, Purpose, Possibility. The profession of occupational therapy makes valuable contributions in helping people live life to its fullest after an illness or injury. The health and productivity of our citizens depend upon the effective use of healthcare resources, including the important services of occupational therapists and occupational therapy assistants.
Mr. President, I move that the board proclaim the month of April 2021 as National Occupational Therapy Month in Santa Fe ISD.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the National Occupational Therapy Month. Any questions? Cast your votes, please. And it has passed. You have one, apparently the machine's not. Okay, it's passed unanimously. Okay, next you have the resolution for the compensation for the summer gap time.
To promote employee morale and save district funds, the district is proposing a resolution allowing Santa Fe ISD year-round employees who work during the summer to work 36 hours but be paid for 40 hours. During the summer, the district is closed on Fridays, so employees work 4 9-hour days. Paying employees to work 40 hours per week while allowing them to work for 36 hours will save in energy costs as well as promote employee morale. And just so you know, this resolution was passed previously. However, we are bringing it to you again just to address the weeks that are less than 36 hours due to a holiday. So like Memorial Day, usually it's a Monday. So that would be a week that's this year we end school prior to Memorial Day. So that Friday would be off and Memorial Day is a holiday on that Monday.
So why are we redoing it?
just to bring forth the weeks that have the like a holiday. I don't think that have less than the 36 hours.
So years past, it didn't have it?
Correct.
And how long has this been in effect?
2014.
So we're selling it as we're saving money on electricity. Have we done a cost break on the 4 hours versus the electricity?
Sure, it was before 14.
If we're using it as the,
We have done that. I mean,
just curious, I wasn't here on the last one.
Right, and Mr. Atkins can provide that. We didn't put that cost in there, but he can provide.
But we're currently paying 40 already. We weren't paying on a holiday.
I thought
It's a proportional that we wanted to make sure was stated, that instead of having 4 days, if it's 3 days, here's what happens. So it's basically just defining those proportional rates. To scale back.
I guess my question is, in the past, if there was a holiday and you only worked 3 days, we were paying for 4, right?
We were working 12, we were working longer hours for those days. If it wasn't a paid holiday.
I guess what I'm asking is, since 2014 till 2021, we've never had a holiday in the summer that fell on a work day?
Not except for July 4th. I mean, and then
we're close.
Closed already. What's your pleasure?
I move the board approve the resolution for compensation of the employees during summer gap time where employees work 36 hours but are paid for 40 hours.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the resolution for this summer gap time. Any questions or comments? Not, cast your votes, please. And it has passed unanimously. Okay. Next, we have the compensation for during the winter ice storm emergency closure.
To promote employee morale and retention, the district is proposing a resolution to compensate employees for workdays missed as a result of severe weather, which serves a public purpose in the continued retention of employees. According to board policy DEA local, the board is within its right to choose to pay employees during an emergency closure for which the workdays are not scheduled to be made up at a later date. The authorization shall be by resolution or other board action and shall reflect the purpose served by the expenditure. In addition, the administration is requesting that by the same resolution, the board grant authority to the administration to compensate certain employees who work during the winter storm and recovery in order to ensure and expedite the safe opening of schools.
Mr. President, I move that the board approve the resolution for compensation of employees during the 2021 winter storm emergency closure, which serves as a public purpose within the continued retention and morale for such employees and ensuring efficient and expeditious opening of schools.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the resolution for the compensation during the winter storm. Any questions or comments? Cast your votes, please. And it has passed unanimously.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Sanchez, we have an audit agreement with Stark, Garcia, and Stanley.
Yes, sir. So as you all know, the district is required to have our annual audit review of the financial statements by independent contractors or auditors. Stark, Garcia, and Stanley LLC has submitted an engagement letter for the year ending June 30th, 2021. We recommend Stark, Garcia, and Stanley to perform our annual review of financial statements. The anticipated fee ranges between $46,000 and $48,000. We ask the board to approve the terms of the audit engagement with Stark, Garcia, and Stanley to perform the 2021 fiscal year-end audit not to exceed $48,000.
Do we bid these?
That was exactly what I was fixing to ask.
Do we bid these against anybody?
We have not. We can definitely go out and bid the services. At this point, I believe it might be a little time crunch due to the fact that the year is almost over, but we can definitely go out and bid out different vendors. And I do know that several other different districts do have other auditors who perform the yearly audit. So it is, sir.
How long have we used these folks?
It's been right at 10 years. I know that they were here when I came here, and normally when you come into a district, you don't change the audit firm. You let them see what's going on to make sure the efforts continue going forward. So it's been about 7 years that we've been using them now.
7 or 10?
So it's at least 10, but I've been here 7, so we know that we've at least been using them 7, but I believe it was 10 years before, but I can find out exactly and get that information to you. And the Board of Trustees is the ones who hire the auditors, so we certainly can set up appointments for you to visit with auditors if you like, or whatever process we would like to do with that, but we have not gone out for a search.
I would figure after 10 years, I might want to get numbers from other folks. Don't we do
Sure.
that? Don't we do that in software and everything else?
Yes, sir. And we can definitely do that. And, we just have to set it all up, have worked through our purchasing department so we can set up the bid and follow the proper procurement.
We received a quote from this firm already.
This is the engagement letter. So it's on the audit world, they're called engagement letters rather than actual quotes. And this is because they have to explain the full scope of their process. So if you look at the engagement letter per se, it'll give you very specific areas they're going to be looking at, which will include how the financial statements are audited and which areas they're going to focus their testing on.
How does this range compare to what we paid for the last audit?
It is roughly about the same. I believe it did have a slight increase. I believe and like I said, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I believe it was a slight increase from previous year.
How quickly can we get some other folks to potentially give us an engagement letter?
So they would need to be in starting any kind of process by May or June in order to have the audit completed, because they're going to do an interim audit for us, and then they're going to do the final audit toward the fall area. So we would have to get the qualifications in and the scopes done. I'm not sure that we can get it done within the month or 2 timeframe, but we can certainly look and explain that process, the best process to go about it, and start looking for the next year to come around if we'd like. And we can research that area, because you're looking at qualifications and professional services, which is a little bit different than bids.
So they're basically auditing last year. They're going to use last year's data and compare it to this year's data.
They're going to use this current year's data when the year ends June 30th, and they'll audit then, but then they're going to have to wait till our actuals are completed, which will push us into the September timeframe. But they'll start doing an interim audit to audit things that they're looking at testing, which will start in the spring.
But they have 10 years of our past data, so they don't have to.
So what happens is they'll come in and they'll do independent testing on all our entries. Basically, they'll come in and ask questions as to why certain transactions were journaled a certain way. They'll look at our vendors and send attestment letters to our vendors. So everybody, well, not everybody, they have a system where they actually do a statistical analysis, and they'll send out to our vendors and say, okay, hey, this is what we show in our ledger that we owe you. Can you please verify that this is the correct information? They'll do that for that. They'll do that for any of our, they'll verify our payroll as well. They'll follow up and verify that the data in there is correct as well. So they'll come in, they'll start looking at any changes, because like you said, they do have 10 years of past data. So this past data is then analyzed against our current data to see for any variances that may trigger in-depth analysis of certain areas. So, for example, if we have payroll and we see an increase of, let's just random number, $6 million, from the previous year, and our trend usually knows it's roughly about $1.5 million, that's going to trigger them to start questioning that and look more into that as to why things happened. So having the previous data is obviously something that helps the audit in run smoother and to be able to identify any type of issues earlier on. Now, when we start engaging with them, usually around April, they'll come in, they'll look over financials. We provide them with information and they can go more in depth into looking at our journals, looking at our bank accounts, looking at any type of transactions that we have done. And so the audit becomes a very thorough analysis and review of all our financial statements. And having, like you said, that background data really does help.
Okay, thank you.
So I guess the question everybody's wanting to know is how do we know we're getting a good price for what we're getting?
Correct.
I mean, that's the question. I mean, how do we know that 48,000 is a good price for what we're getting? I don't know how we know that if we haven't
Gone out for bid.
gone out for bid or compared it to anybody else in 10 years. I mean,
Well, we can more than,
is this something that you could, I mean, is this something that you have to spend a ton of time on? Because I'm ignorant to all this. Or is this something that you could make a phone call
so we have to
to
reach
someone
out.
else and they could give you an estimate so you can at least find out this is in the ballpark
So it is
without doing a ton of work?
Yes, it is within the ballpark, and what you can look at, districts of different size. So you can find out from one district to another if you are in the same ballpark. But this, I've worked for all different size districts, and this is one that's probably the least that I've ever seen in the price compared to a larger district. So it's gonna see how much time they have to take to do most of the testing, depends on the size of your general ledger, the size of your financial statements. So yes, but we certainly can, and we can explain that process, and we can bring different options at the next board meeting or the next finance meeting, so we can see what is it that we need to do to maybe look in the future. We can do some price comparisons and show you that as well.
But you're pretty confident that this is a fair price
Yes.
right now.
Well, what this group is doing for them is they already know the details, the ins and outs. So if they know it's going out for bid, they're going to sharpen their pencil, even though we could still use them again. But they've been doing it for 10 years. They know exactly what to hone in and go. So the manpower they're going to use to allocate their funds are probably profit margin's going to be more and still charging us less.
And when you have another firm to come in, they're going to have that setup cost, and they're going to have some initial fees that they're going to have to charge to make sure that they are looking at all and testing all possibilities. The larger we get, the larger our financial statements grow, the more money that's involved, the more they're going to have to charge us. So it is going to be proportional to as your size changes, your number of students. Some of them based on your ADA. So there's a lot of different ways, but we can certainly get all those different types. I would imagine there's probably about 6 different firms in the Houston area out there doing them. Whitley Penn is located here in Texas City. I've worked with them before. So there's various firms and groups that we can look at and bring you all that data.
So basically with these folks, we just said, hey, it's time for annual review. Give me your price. They sent the price over and we're asking for the money instead of, hey, is this the best you can do?
Right.
That is correct. And it is comparable to what has happened in the past, years in the past. So it hasn't drastically increased or drastically decreased, which you would, with COVID, what we found out is they had just as hard time with manpower, with their manpower having to be safe when they went out to fields and test. And also they had to make some changes there. So there's been changes in a lot of different areas, but that we haven't seen the significant price increases is a good deal.
And just a note also, Stark, Garcia, and Stanley are recently, I guess, merging with another firm, and they are changing their name. So we are proposing here Stark, Garcia, Stanley, because that's the letter of engagement that they have sent us. However, their name is changing, so you will see a different name on the actual financial reports.
I mean, if you're confident this is a decent price, I personally am okay with passing this tonight. I would ask that in the future we definitely price check.
But it does not take a lot of time to get a price check, is what I'm hearing.
We have to submit information to each one of the auditors explaining our ledger size and samples so that they can verify and see. So for example, with Stark, Garcia, and Stanley, because they do have our history and understanding of our general ledger, it does become an easier task to get an engagement letter. Whereas we will reach out to Whitley Penn, it will take them a little longer to assess just the size of our ledger, our transactions, and the scope of the actual audit. And so I'm not sure how long it'll take them. It just depends on what their resources are at the moment.
And you're saying they're going to start next month probably to do
Yes.
their preliminary. See, and that's what I'm concerned about. We don't have enough time. And
You don't. 'cause
Ms.
they're gonna-
Townsend is confident or that this is at least a fair price, and I trust her input on that. Like I said, I don't think we have a lot of time to waste, but I would definitely ask that in the future we get some prices.
So basically, they're gonna have to create a
Skill
scope of
level,
work.
We won't be able to bid out per price. We can bid out for scope and professional services. What we can do though is we can survey other school districts. So we can find out who are you using this particular school district. They could tell us what's paid off their general ledger and we can do the comparisons that way based on size, based on what they paid, based on what market we should expect to pay. But as far as bidding and services, we're going to get you the exact protocol for that. Because when it comes to professional services, there are certain things we can and can't do. And bidding out on price, in some areas, we're not able to do that, but we can look at scope and do a comparison. So we'll bring that back to you so you can see what all is involved in that. And if we need to set up where we can have firms come in, we certainly can do that as well to see what their scope and sequence is, and we can give you a study of what districts pay for that.
So we can bring that back information to you at the next meeting, and then we can decide if we want to set up a workshop and do some follow-ups from there.
Fair enough.
What's your pleasure for now?
I'll make a motion to approve the terms of the audit engagement with Stark, Garcia and Stanley LLC to perform the 2020-2021 fiscal year-end audit not to exceed $48,000.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this audit agreement with Stark, Garcia and Stanley. Any other questions or comments? All right, cast your votes, please. Okay, it has passed. Okay, it is passed with one no vote. Okay.
Is that mine? I can't even see that.
No.
Now, Mr. Sanchez, you have some donations for us, please?
Yes, we're bringing forth some donations over the $5,000 threshold in a total of $9,100. We would like the board to approve the acceptance of the donation in excess of $5,000.
Mr. President, I make a motion, we approve the acceptance of the donation that is greater than 5,000 received. The total donation is $9,100.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the donations. Any other questions? Not cast your votes, please. And it has passed.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Brown, we have some audio enhancements at the junior high.
Good afternoon. We would like for you to consider for approval the purchase of audio enhancements, local classroom sound system, and mass notification system for Santa Fe Junior High to enhance student and staff safety. This system is currently installed and active at Barnett Elementary. It provides a teacher with both reinforced sound within the classroom and a panic button on a lanyard that ties in directly with the mass notification system. The system program controls the ability to lock down a campus in the event of an emergency. The system will be funded through the COPS grant awarded in October of 2020. The COPS grant will cover 75% of the cost, and Santa Fe ISD will be responsible for the remaining 25% of the total cost. Total cost for audio enhancement system is $227,132.29, plus a $4,708.21 payment and performance bonding fee, for an overall total of $231,840.50. Santa Fe ISD's portion is $61,491.28, with the COPS grant covering $170,349.22. The average life expectancy on the hardware itself is 15 to 20 years, and the Epic server life expectancy is 5 to 7 years. We ask that you approve the purchase of the Santa Fe Junior High for a cost not to exceed $231,840.50, with 75% or $170,349.22 being paid through COPS grant, and the remaining 25% or $56,783.07 plus so many numbers, the $4,708.21 payment and performance bond through Budget Manager 98 for the fiscal year of 21 through 22 budget.
So in 5 to 7 years, what would be the heavy expense on that?
The price right now is roughly $11,000 for the server.
That's minor in the scheme of things.
Are we having any issues? Because this is a mirror image of what we have at Barnett.
To an extent,
Basically?
yes.
Are we having any issues with the system at Barnett?
No, we
Everything's
actually
working?
had an accidental, yes, we had an
Yeah, but
accidental trigger of it, and
It
it
shows
worked
that it works.
exactly. Yes, it worked exactly like it was supposed to.
Just make sure we're not having any problems. I know we've had some issues with some things we purchased that haven't worked as we were sold on them. Not by y'all, but by the manufacturers of some of the things that we were sold haven't worked as well as they should have.
And I can only speak for technology, but we are getting much more refined on the paperwork that they're providing us. When they make those promises, we're asking that they put them in writing.
Good deal.
Pleasure.
Nobody wants to read all the numbers. Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the purchase of the audio enhancement system for Santa Fe Junior High for a cost not to exceed $231,840.50 with 75% or $170,349.22 being paid through the COPS grant, and the remaining 25% or $56,783.07 plus $4,708.21 PPB through BM 98 fiscal year 21 through 22 budget.
Second.
Please second that.
I didn't hear that clearly. Can you rewrite it?
Yeah. Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the purchase of the audio enhancement system, and I'm not about to try to go through all those numbers again. Any questions or comments? Cast your votes, please. Okay, it is passed unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Atkins, we need some heat exchanger replacement.
Yes, sir. So during the freeze event back in February, we lost the heat exchanger to one of the cooling towers at RJ Willem Elementary. And during the assessment, we found it was sucking air into the condenser water that actually removes heat or provides heat for the classrooms there on the water source heat pumps. Currently, we're running on one cooling tower. We have two at the building, so this would buy the parts and the labor to go and install the heat exchanger to get the second cooling tower up and running. The building cannot run during high ambient temperatures on just one cooling tower, so we are moving quickly on this, and we're hoping to have this in by end of April. We've working well with Hunting, our vendor, to get this to us as quickly as possible and get it in us so that we don't have any interruptions in cooling there at the campus once it gets warmer.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the proposal from Hunting Services to replace the damaged heat exchanger at RJ Willem Elementary for a cost not to exceed $85,000.
I'll second on behalf of Mrs. Porchel.
And all the children. Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this contract with Hunting Services. Any other questions or comments?
Just one, I want to make sure it is going to be reimbursable, right? Through insurance?
Yeah, so we have a $10,000 deductible per event, not per building. So we will hit that deductible with this one, and we won't have to pay it for any other insurance claims. So we've submitted this, and this cost has some contingency dollars and stuff like that. If we don't spend it, we'll put that back into the cost, and then we'll submit the invoice to insurance to get reimbursed.
Any other questions? Now, would you cast your votes, please? And it is passed unanimously. Okay, next we have the turf at the high school football field.
Yes, sir. So this is for professional services to begin or allow us to begin the design work of the replacement of the football field turf that has damaged due to the rain event of Harvey. It also will help us in design work for any bid documents we would submit to once we get approval for funding for replacement of the field, repair of the subgrade, also replacement and repair of the track. We have a FEMA filed funding request under consideration for replacement of the field and the track in excess of $2 million. And then we also have an insurance claim for the field that is under consideration, and we're waiting on final approval of that and what they will and will not cover. It appears that there will be some coverage, but I have no official word on that. So, but talking to the adjuster, it appears there will be some coverage from our insurance. And if we do get that, FEMA will make up the difference. We will face a percentage deductible based on named storm. I think based on our coverage at the time, it was 3%. It may have been 2%. And what that percentage is based on maybe just the field, it may be the building. So we're waiting to get that determination too. So we met with the adjuster and one of their expert witnesses or expert assessors on turf fields back in November. We still have the letter back. And I talked to the adjuster when we were looking at some of the free stuff, and he said that he was waiting on 2 carriers to come back with answers before he could give us a final determination. So, but we should be hearing something soon. This would allow us, once we get the authorization from one of the, or both, to go ahead and pull the trigger to start the design work. We could stop this at any time and pay for work that they've done. About 75% of the cost is for the design and documents. 20% of the cost is for the actual oversight of construction, and 5% is for closeout. So the majority of it is on the design side.
Mr. President, I make a motion, we approve the proposal for PBK Sports for engineering services for a cost not to exceed $89,000.
Second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this proposal from PBK Sports Engineering. Any other questions or comments? Cast your votes, please. And it has passed unanimously. Thank you. Okay, you have a HVAC coil.
Yes, sir. Some of the additional casualties from the freeze where we lost some chill water and hot water coils at junior high and the high school. This proposal has dollars in there to replace this from Hunt Services. This includes parts and labor. We did walk all these with the adjuster. We did find 2 more after after I got pricing. So this price does include some contingencies to cover those coils as well, because we found once we repaired some piping on a junior high roof and we charged it up, we had coal still leaking. And so I covered that in this cost. So this is a cost not to exceed and should cover all that cost that we would get. Again, this would be 100% reimbursable from insurance. We've had no pushback from our adjuster. He said he would cover everything we send him. And we will send him the final bill once we are done with this. One of the coils we have fast tracked. That's the one for the science wing inside air handler at the high school, because that area is warm. We did get a Band-Aid put on that coil late last week, and so it is cooling now, but we've asked for expedited on that particular coil so we can maybe get that one installed sooner than the rest.
kind of window are they going to give us to keep finding unknown leaks?
We can reopen the claim for a while, so yeah, they'll give us some chances. Yeah. I know when we did the hail claim in 2013, we negotiated with them for a year and a half before it was all finalized. So.
President, I make a motion, we approve the proposal from Hunting Services to replace the damaged HVAC coils at the high school and junior high for a cost not to exceed $250,010. I'm sorry, $252,010.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the proposal for replacing the damaged HVAC coils at the high school. Any other questions? I cast your votes, please. And it is passed unanimously.
All right. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Mr. McKinney, you have the TASB energy fuel pool.
Yes, I do. I'm bringing a proposal to join the TASB fuel pool. We looked at it in years past. In years past, our estimate was that it would have probably put us upside down on fuel. Their price is usually higher than the rate when you can, the going rate when you have to lock. It's just been really volatile this year. It's we've seen from December to March, diesel go up 47 cents a gallon at the rack, and then let it go up 60 cents. And I'm proposing that we commit to a third of our historic usage, so that when we hit this, when it gets high, that we can kick in this contract but not be committed to use it year round. And typically when summer comes, the summer blend comes in and the price of unleaded goes up as well. So it's just kind of a hedge against maybe things getting volatile right now. I mean, we wouldn't start it until June. And so if it were below the contract price, we would just buy from the rack. Plus, being at 1/3, it keeps us from being committed to buying it. I can't tell you that if we had been committed to buy it in 2020, we would have had to pay for fuel we couldn't take because we just weren't using it during the shutdown. So I'm requesting that you approve participation in the TASB Energy Cooperative to purchase fuel from June 1st, 2021 to August 31st, 2022.
So we're prepaying a third of our fuel rate at our fixed rate right now.
I'm sorry.
Is that what it means?
No, it would be a third of our annual usage. In the past, we've committed to 63,000 gallons of diesel, and I would be committing to 21,000 gallons of diesel. A third of our usage, yes. And so if it were below, we would just buy from the rack. If it gets high, then we have this contract to fall back on. I mean, it is a gamble. I mean, it could cost us money. It might not ever go above this, but there's sure no predicting it right now. And I am concerned with the direction that it's going. We have to purchase every bit of what we buy in this contract. Once our contract's fulfilled, then we're buying from the rack. It's for a set amount.
Stock.
So once we'd bought 21,000 gallons of diesel, then we would be buying on the rack. And typically the rack rates are pretty competitive because they've hit multiple sources and there's usually not a delivery charge, but you know, it just doesn't seem to be heading in a very good direction right now.
No, I like it. I was just making sure I understood it.
Then make a motion.
President, I make a motion that James Grassmont read the motion. There you go.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the participation in the TASB Energy Cooperative to purchase fuel from June 1st, 2021 to August 31st, 2022.
Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the energy cooperative fuel pool. Any other questions or comments? Cast your votes, please. And it is passed unanimously. Thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
And here comes the daisy.
Okay, I've got
Drum roll, please.
Okay, Ms. Ross, I think you're going to do the next one. We have discussion on eliminating our mask requirements.
Yes, good evening, and hopefully in your board packet, you've already seen some modifications for potential protocol changes. So should you consider whether you're going to vote on keeping or removing or eliminating masks. So TEA publishes school year 2021 public health planning guidance that is updated routinely. The purpose of the guidance is to minimize the risk of furthering the spread of COVID-19. On March 4th, 2021, TEA provided that the governing board of a school system may modify or eliminate by formal action the previously determined related mask requirement. Santa Fe ISD established safety protocols to mitigate, prevent, and respond to the virus, and will continue to update these protocols based on local health district guidelines, with the primary focus on maximizing the potential for in-person learning for all students. So we ask that you consider and approve modifying or eliminating mask requirements related to COVID protocols. Option 1, allow masks for students and staff to be optional at school and school-related events. Option 2, allow the mask protocols to remain in place for the remainder of the 2021 school year. Schools may also adjust COVID protocols for the safety of their students and staff.
Mr. President, I make a motion, we approved eliminating mask requirements related to COVID protocols. Option 1, allow masks for students and staff to be optional at school and school-related events.
I'm going to second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we.
Sorry, at district, at school and district related events. I think I missed at.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the option 1 that was presented here to allow the mask for students and stuff to be optional.
So
Any questions?
Yes, where it says schools may also adjust COVID protocols for the safety of their students and staff. Is that for either option you choose, 1 or 2?
No, once you guys vote as far as the masks are concerned, those are your options. Our options are to look at the variety of protocols that we gave you guys in your board packet, to be able to look at spacing and consider, social distancing and other protocols with cleaning, et cetera, to modify.
That's what I'm saying. So that whichever way we go, the schools may also adjust the COVID protocols for the safety of their students and staff, no matter what we do.
Absolutely.
So by voting to remove masks, we are not eliminating protocols.
Absolutely. You are not eliminating
I
protocols.
know that's the answer. I just want to be crystal clear that that's not what's happening if we do that. Safety protocols.
Yeah, safety and health protocols are still in place, and we have a committee that has to govern over that. However, it's just with the governor's removal of the executive order, you guys have been granted by TEA to take charge and decide whether or not to eliminate the mask or keep the mask.
So if you go with 2, you're still able to adjust just the safety protocols or just the mat? It's a little misleading because you're saying no matter what option you choose, we're still going to be able to adjust protocols for the safety.
Not on masks,
Not on mask, yeah.
only on everything else.
Okay. Let's get some clarity. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, that's a separate statement. It's not
it
part of.
falls under both. So I was getting some clarity. This has been a tough one for me, folks.
Well,
I've been on the fence, so I'm not going to lie.
Well, and it hasn't been tough for me. The only thing that's been tough for me is I know it's split amongst a lot of people.
And you're talking about the results that you guys got to review in the survey.
And it's not that I'm ignoring the results from a survey. Actually, the survey results forced me to ask for more detailed results from that survey, because I wanted to see exactly which groups and which percentages went with each group, not just an overall. So if I went solely by the survey, the high school would be the only one that wore masks, because they're the only ones that the majority wanted it. The rest of the survey was, I didn't really like to begin with, because you had basically, in my opinion, the way I looked at it, you had one option to keep as is, and then you had three options that were anti-mask in some form. And if I add those three anti-mask categories together, there's only a majority at the high school. The rest of the district, employees and parents, except for a 1.06% of junior high parents, everybody else wanted them gone. The other problem I have with it is I don't see how we, government, can sit here and dictate that children should wear masks, or anyone should wear a mask. I don't know how I can say that as I sit here and speak to you without a mask on. I'm not doing it. Nobody up here is doing it. And the other, and I'm trying not to drag this out too long, but I do have some points I want to make. I had an email today. It made a lot of sense. A lady has a child that is 10 years old. The 10-year-old is wearing a mask in class, full of 9-year-olds that aren't. Makes no sense. 1 year, and this virus ignores the rest of the class. That does not make sense to me. And
Please call the governor.
Huh?
Please call the governor.
I know. One other thing, I'll just make one other point. And the high school was the majority that said they should keep it as is. I'm at the high school every day, literally every day. And yes, they're wearing masks inside the school, constantly being told to pull them up, but they are wearing them, and staff does a very good job there of staying on them. But in the parking lots, they're all in huge groups. Nobody's wearing them. They're all right in each other's faces. They're high school kids. I'm sure on the weekends, they're all sharing the same ping pong ball and drinking from the same cup. I mean, that's what happens. Let's be real. And it's not solving anything. Anyway, that's all I have. Sorry I drug it on. But.
Mr. President, I'd like to clarify on the motion that it's district-wide and not just at the schools.
Any other questions or comments?
I'd like to make a comment. One of my biggest concerns, so everyone knows, because of the mask change, the CDC guidelines for quarantining does not. So here's my fear. We have a phenomenal softball team, and they're not wearing masks, and that whole team gets quarantined, and we're not able to play softball. That's a concern I have. Those events, we have prom coming up, we have graduation coming up. These are major life events for our kids, and we're risking them participating potentially. I know it's a small probability, but it could happen, and we're risking those events for 40 days. It's a very tough decision. I can say that I've heard both sides of it, from parents, from educators, and there's no clear answer that's going to satisfy everyone in this audience or everyone listening. And I'll just say it's a difficult decision, but that's my biggest concern with the decision.
And I agree with some of that. The thing is, those that choose to wear a mask can wear a mask. They have the option to do it. I mean, I know of some of the baseball players that are being extremely cautious right now because they don't, like you're saying, they don't want to miss out on their season. They're staying away from each other. They're doing everything that they can do to make sure that they are as safe as they possibly can be. But here's the other thing. You talk about prom, softball, baseball, all these things. Here's one thing that we're overlooking.
Depression is up 400% in this country. That is a fact. That's not even debatable whether they work or they don't work. Depression rates are up. I have personal experience with a family member that's been trying to get in to see a psychiatrist or a therapist for about 4 months now. You can't even get an appointment. It's so bad. That, to me, I'm more concerned about the depression rates and what that could lead to than I am COVID at this point, because I think the depression rates are causing us far bigger problems. Again, my opinion.
I want to echo what Matt said. That's my window of or sitting on the fence. The what if, the devil's advocate here. What are we going to do if the numbers spike? Are we going to say, oh man, we should have wore the mask? Are we going to go back to mask? Or do we have a contingency plan that y'all thought about, which depending on which route we go?
So depending on this decision tonight, yes, I mean, we have to go back and we meet as routinely as we need to, as necessary. We still have to consider all of the safety protocols. However, when it comes to contact tracing with still the health department and CDC, if masks are removed and you are exposed, we do have to follow quarantine. However, there are obviously new indications in terms of like with the vaccines, et cetera, that we can take into consideration and then potentially look at the reduction, as y'all saw in the survey and you saw in the information provided with you. We can look at potentially shortening the window of quarantine. But I mean, we're going to have to be able to still maintain school and obviously maintain the safety and the health of our students. So we're going to still, you know, evaluate and look at what we can do in a proactive, preventative way. However, we cannot alleviate the fact that if someone is within proximity without a mask on, definitely for contact tracing, they will have to serve a quarantine period. But again, we're going to look at reduction of time within the CDC guidelines and health district guidelines of that quarantine period.
Do we have any data when we do our contact tracing where you have the one child that had it and he's exposed to 20? Out of those 20, I'm just random numbers here, do we have some statistic that 1% that's around them ends up getting the COVID? And
our nurse collects that. Our district nurse, if y'all want that, absolutely, we can give you that data and it'll show you how many.
There's just so much thought to put into this.
Yeah.
The question on that is, are we requiring all the students who have to isolate to go be tested? Or are we waiting for them to develop symptoms or go get tested on their own? Because if we're not requiring them to go, then our data wouldn't be accurate anyway.
So right now it's for them to get tested if they're exposed. They're getting tested. We have kits that they're being tested with as well that the state gave us for free. So we have rapid tests. We have an agreement with one of the clinics in which they can rapid test as well. But if there is exposure, I think we're still at level. Are we still at level 2? Yeah. So
I missed it. Is the testing optional or required?
are we still required right now? I don't know if we modified that. I don't think we did. I think we are not. No, it's not required. It's not required.
My concern is with 40 days left, we have end of year testing that's coming up. And with the protocols not changing from the CDC, regardless of what we do, even if we reduce it, we just did this massive push to have students show up face to face to take tests.
Right, absolutely.
And not take them from home. So I feel like it's counterintuitive to put more people at risk to have to be isolated.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to have to be able to consider that. So we'll take that into our consideration when we have our protocol meeting. And I'll also have our nurse pull the data. She works with a collaborative of all of our Galveston and Harris County ISD nurses, along with the health district. That gives us a lot of information for us to make those kind of decisions. So we'll look at that and take that into account whenever we have our protocol meeting.
So I've also been on the fence a lot about this because I have to set aside my own personal and political beliefs in order to make a decision on behalf of all of our staff and our entire student body. And that's not easy to do.
No, it's not. It's not.
You know, I'll just, everybody's making comments. One of the most influential people on my life was my senior year in high school. And I couldn't fathom the thought of not being able to see that teacher face to face. Made just a great impact on who I am today, what, some of my academics and things of that nature. And, so I think about it from those seniors that are leaving for the last 40 days, give them a chance to breathe, and then also I think about our elementary school kids. The number one thing, kind of the social side of things, of seeing a teacher smile each and every day. I don't care if it's in kindergarten or 3rd grade or 5th grade. There's something about the aspect of seeing people smile. It kind of goes to your point. Nobody's seeing each other smile. I mean, people may be smiling right now or frowning. I don't know. For those, I think Kim's always smiling, but it's
Sometimes.
it's that to me, and for what it's worth, for 40 days, I think there's no substitution for seeing somebody smile and everything else, and especially in the classroom and everything else. That's just food for thought. And just another side of it is, we all have been out in public where we've gone to a restaurant. First thing we do when we sit down is we start taking off our masks. We eat, we talk, we're using utensils. We don't know how clean those utensils are. We don't know how clean those tables are. They all have protocols, we know. But, in the end, I really think, like to some of Grassmutt's points, as soon as they get outside those walls, they're collaborating in the parking lot. They're doing all kinds of things. Masks come down. They're not being worn correctly in the first place. There's statistics showing that kids are more resilient than adults, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, obviously, I'm just going to everybody else's points. We're on the fence. But in the end, I don't want to take that option away from the staff or students.
It's sad to think that we have teachers that if a student has been following the rules, the teacher maybe has never seen their face.
Mm-hmm.
We have got kids in classrooms that the teacher has potentially never seen their face. Think about that. I mean.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Before we vote, I need to clarify something that was just brought to my attention through either Julie or Ms. Brown. I'm being told that people's votes showing up here might not be their actual vote.
The external votes, as they have been, we just need to make sure that the external show clearly their votes.
So what I'm looking at up here, I see all 7 names. So you're telling me that if Angie votes, that might not be what's showing up under Angie Lambert?
I have to manually raise my hand or nod my head to be able to get my vote to go through. It's never worked.
They're
since I've
manually
elected.
acknowledging.
No, that's fine. I thought that this was
Is that
all.
mine as well?
I'm sorry.
Is that mine as well?
Yes.
I would love for that to be fixed soon.
Okay, so the 2 ends, it may or may not be. Okay, so until we fix that, we just won't vote that way anymore. So a motion has been made and seconded to allow the mask to be optional. We've had lots of discussion. It's time to vote. All those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. 2, 3, 4, 5. Those opposed, please raise your hand. 2. The motion has passed 5-2. Thank you very much.
Okay.
And thank you for all the discussion. Okay, our last item of business, we have the acceptance of the unfillable chair. Ms. Hanser, you gonna handle that?
Yes, sir, I am. On March 10th, 2021, the Santa Fe 10 Memorial Foundation presented at a board workshop background information, recommendations, and specifications for an unfillable chair donation to be placed at the high school in a proposed location in front of the high school. Students in the foundation worked with National Signs to design the project to honor lives lost on May 18th, 2018. National Signs was also present at the workshop and agreed to an in-kind donation of $19,920 for the project. The goal was to seek approval and begin the construction to be dedicated on May 18th, 2021. This recommendation for consideration included the location to be approved and a specific location in front of the high school.
The presented location was revised from their original proposed location to this agreed upon location by the Santa Fe 10 Memorial Foundation and Committee to be located on the southeast side of the high school in the area of the remembrance trees.
So this is a two-part approval or?
No.
No, it's just a one part. The in-kind donation is going to the Memorial, Santa Fe 10 Memorial Committee, our foundation. What we're asking this evening is for you to approve the location.
The donation.
And the donation and the location, yes.
So there's two in there.
So I have a question about the location. It's been made very clear to us, and I'm not sure if Ms. Hansard can answer this question, so you have to correct me on protocol. But it's been made very clear to us that the location is a big deal with regards to if it's later moved, then that could be a trigger for people. So my concern is with approving an initial location and then it potentially being moved later. Is there any kind of feedback that we've received from the Santa Fe 10 Memorial Foundation that could tell us their thoughts on that potential move?
Okay.
Hi, my name is Megan Grove. I'm chair and co-founder of the Santa Fe 10 Memorial Foundation. As Angie mentioned, we have discussed triggers a lot through this challenging process the last year and a half or so. The students have made it abundantly clear that moving things is a trigger for them. But one of the things that is most important to us and the students is that the chair be dedicated on May 18th for the 3-year anniversary. And so we had follow-up discussion regarding the potential location, and they were perfectly acceptable. It was perfectly acceptable to them to have the chair placed near the trees, which was also a student-led initiative. So it made sense that they kind of go together. We are proposing that it's temporary, but that means we'll discuss it at a later date. So if in the future we decide we would like to move the chair within the permanent memorial, whenever that happens, we would come back before the board and we would notify the students. That's the most important thing, is that they would be notified, made aware, and be able to provide input. And that they don't just show up one day and it's gone. So with that extra information and discussion, they and the foundation both voted to go with the new location if approved.
So the trigger is only there, meaning they walk in one day, it's gone.
Right.
You're okay as long as you move it, as long as you give me some notice?
That was the consensus, yes.
I just wanted to get clarification on that, since you could tell that there was potential for it to be moved in the way that it's written.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question for Dr. Wall. Is legal looked at this and everything agreed between the foundation and us?
So in the action item, it talks, yes, the answer is yes to that. The final placement approval will work with the foundation and ensure that we're good with whatever electric or whatever other facilities that need to be adjusted. So
I know we talked about it on the other one. but I
yes,
just wanted
we
to
have
make
reviewed
sure.
it with our
And then it
legal
moved
in
and
regards to
everything.
this location.
Good deal.
And as this is
We'll
a
continue to
donation to
work.
the school district, there will not be any charge to SFISD.
Good deal.
It's a pleasure.
Mr. President, I make a motion to consider and approve acceptance of donation of Santa Fe 10 Memorial Unfillable Chair valued at $19,920 in kind to be located in front of Santa Fe High School in the southeast area in the proximity of the remembrance trees, with final placement approval delegated to the superintendent within these parameters.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the donation of the unfillable chair and the location within the parameters of the memorial tree, the trees, the remembrance trees. Any other questions or comments? If not, all those in favor, raise your hand. And that looks to be unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you, Megan, for helping to clarify.
Yes. Okay, that is all of our regular agenda items. We'll now move into some communications. Ms. Townsend, do you have anything else you want to add tonight?
congratulations to the PR department. Great job on the awards, and thanks so much for all the participation in the budget workshop earlier this evening. And congratulations to the driver of the year.
Mr. Atkins, anything else?
No, sir, not this time.
Ms. Hansard.
I just have a couple of things. You do have the calendar that has some events listed, which are for the month of April. And then also, I just want to draw your attention, you have a postcard that I can tell you we're probably going to submit as a T-Spro award. But this is about a pre-K and kindergarten fair that CNI have actually organized, and it's a collaborative effort amongst all of our departments. And that's going to be on Saturday, April 10th. So if you are around from 10 to 2, just please stop by and see that. Very optimistic about getting a lot of students to come and register for pre-K and kindergarten. And then I just wanted to let you know that we have a student at the high school who will be recognized on KPRC Channel 2 on Wednesday, March 31st during the 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Segment. And Channel 2 has asked us not to disclose the information before it's aired, but I do want to share with you that it's a really huge honor for the student. And I wanted to be able to provide you the opportunity to view the special presentation to this particular student.
They pay you for that advertising tease?
But
They should have.
Channel 2 was very gracious and very good to work with today, and they are always very supportive of this district. So no, they did not give me anything to do that little plug, but just wanted to let you know. And also just want to wish someone a very happy birthday today, Dr. Wall.
Thank you.
What?
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And then
Can't think of a better place to be on a birthday. It's been a lovely evening. Thank you all for joining me.
I was going to say that I know you would not have thought about spending it with anyone other than
Exactly. That's exactly what I would say.
this group of individuals. But anyway, I wanted to wish you a really happy.
Thank you very much.
And then just everybody have a safe and healthy and restful Easter break.
Ms. Ross.
Yes, I would just like to, again, give a huge shout out to our teachers. Not only are they focusing and preparing within all the confines of curriculum, this year in instruction, on getting us ready for our May test, well, our writings in April. We're also already, analyzing the data and starting to start our curriculum refinement processes and roll that out for next year. So we've already started some of those spring, and we have a lot of summer professional learning, but the teachers are the rock stars, especially after the last couple of years. So just want to give them a huge shout out because they have not lost their focus despite everything.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Lambert, do you have anything for us?
If I was reading through the reports correctly, I'm pretty sure that our varsity girls soccer team is undefeated right now. So I just want to give a shout out to them. I thought that was pretty cool to see. Other than that, congratulations to everybody who's recognized tonight.
Thank you. Mr. Grassmuck.
I've probably said enough for one night. Thank you, everybody, for everything you do, and have a good week.
Mr. Hertenberger.
Well, you all have the option to take your mask off. You're not required to wear them anymore.
But if you want to, you still can.
You can leave them on. So
I don't really care.
There you go. So again, thank you all for everything. Congratulations to everyone to see awards. Thank you all for up here on the board for giving a lot of options to sway one way on the fence. Everybody had some good information to help me make my decision anyway. So thank you. Everybody be safe.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Davenport.
First, Dr. Wall, happy birthday.
Thank you, sir.
Second, U of H Cougars 67, Oregon 61. So U of H 1 is going to the Final Four.
Been on your phone during the meeting?
I just got a buzz on it. So,
You got it propped up watching the game or something?
And
Your secret's out, but
yeah, but thank you to everyone. I mean, truly, I've told a few people over in the last couple of months, items like the masks, the stuff that Megan and her team are doing. These are not easy because obviously there's a lot of emotion involved for a lot of us and a lot of y'all. So, but I do appreciate the patience. I do appreciate the support. I do appreciate the things that each and every one of you do, not only as part of this district, but as humans. So, and I'm blessed and I just want to say thanks. So.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Crable?
Just want to say, kind of echo some of the comments. I really do enjoy getting to recognize the students and their performances, and not only athletes, but the fact that we got to recognize the robotics program. That's a relatively new program and it's been very successful. And hats off to Ms. Platt and her direction with that team, and want to continue to support endeavors like that for students who don't participate in athletics or potentially participate in both. So appreciate that opportunity to recognize those kids.
Mr. Kelly.
So when we started the discussions about the masks, I told the board that as a parent, if we get away with them, I'm gonna be really happy. If not, I'm gonna be really angry. But as a board member, I would support the way the board went. And I just want to say thank you to the board on behalf of the parent for erring on the side of freedom. Congratulations to everybody that was recognized this evening, and everybody else for what you do. I appreciate you, and stay safe.
Dr. Wall?
Thank you to Megan and the foundation for working together with the district and us coming up with a good resolution to honor the lives lost on May 18th. So we look forward to more communications going forward on making that finalize that event. Also, thanks to all the staff. We're working really hard to have a strong finish to our school year. So I appreciate that. And we have 40 days, something like that, to finish up strong. So thank you all for being here and supporting the district as well.
All right. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody, the board members and the staff that participated. We had an excellent budget workshop today. That was a continuation of the workshop that we started last month with a lot of budget info. It's that time of year, and there's a lot of work and a lot of effort that goes into a budget. Most people think about the school and educating children, and that's the business we're in, but this school district has a $40-something million budget when you come down to it too. So we have to be fiscally responsible to the taxpayers and the folks in that area. So thank you for all that information and all that hard work. And I want to echo again, I like having the recognitions and getting to see some of the kids and all that. And hopefully in the future now I may see some of them without the mask where I can actually see their smiling face. I'm still blown away at the size of some of these girls come in here that are lifting weights more than me. And I'm thinking, that's truly a feat. There's a lot of activities going on. Galveston County Fair is fixing to kick off. We have a bunch of students that'll be involved in that. There's all kinds of sports for the spring and stuff are all ongoing. A lot of the fine arts things and all. There's just a lot of activity. And got Easter break, and then it's going to be no holds barred to the end of the year. So a lot still coming up. You want to give everybody just one quick update. As you know, Dr. Wall has announced her retirement, and her contract is up at the end of June. And we have hired a search firm, as y'all know, and the search firm has had that job posted, and that's down. And we have a meeting with them next week to begin the process of going through, and we have quite a few applicants. So that process is ongoing, and we have a timeline that someone's actually out there on the website, but we are moving forward with that, and things are looking good right now. So yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I have one other thing, and I would be remiss not to mention this, but on behalf of the district and the Santa Fe 10 Memorial Foundation, I just wanted to, I know we posted on the website, but I just wanted to bring it to your attention as well that the Congressional Medal of Honor was awarded to Chris Stone, the Young Hero Award for his courage and valor on May 18th, 2018. And I just wanted to give him that recognition and that honor this evening. And so I'm sorry that I had to do this at the end, but I should have done it during my communication. And I just wanted to take this opportunity.
No problem. That, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, please